Let's go! Nachos!
Hello everyone. Today we'll be doing another toy review in half stop motion and half live action. Stop motion is what you just saw a moment ago with two former mascots, and live action is when a hand comes out and moves the toy to show the gimmick or the toy properties as best as I can. Okay? Before we go on to the next part, I want to quickly say the last toy review I did was 17 minutes long. That's quite long. I think it's probably the longest of anything that I've ever done within recent years. So let's try to make this a few minutes shorter, if possible. Before we go any deeper, I would like to say that, well, as I like to say in these videos, there's a train behind me, so I'll try speaking louder, but if it interrupts with the audio, I'm sorry. But somebody in Williamsville, New York loves you. And since this is taking place in Osaka, Japan, we don't know who. So, okay, let's go on to the next portion.
Let's review quickly. Last toy review, we talked about Kamen Rider Kamen, the first in this series. We didn't talk about his height, I'm sorry. Here's a measuring stick to quickly give you an idea how tall he is. He's about 13 to 14 centimeters tall. Much like his TV counterpart, he comes with two particular weapons, two swords, that can combine to become one longer double-sworded weapon. On his hip he has a peg holster that allows him to carry his gun sword, the blue and silver sword, easily. There is no such device for the orange slice sword. This toy line's main gimmick is its fruit-themed armor, which is interchangeable with other characters. Let's remove this armor and take a look at the core body beneath. Since I discussed this toy in a previous review, I'll only say that he shares the similar articulation points that Kamen Rider Wizard and Kamen Rider Forza shared. The only thing I would like to say is that due to a molding on his hip of 3 lock seeds, he has trouble moving his leg to an extreme direction, but for the most part it is fairly posable. 18 points of articulation to be exact. Something else I had forgotten to talk about in my previous review was that how the armor fits onto the toy. The armor fits onto these groove-like lines and clicks into place with these peg holes. Now onto the main course. Let's take a look at Kamen Rider Baron's box. I'll take a few seconds to slowly turn the box around so you can take a look at the artwork. Let's take a closer look at the front of the box. As you can see, this box comes with an armor, a spear, a helmet, and a core figure. The price tag is also 2,500 yen. Most places are selling it for either this or 3,000 yen, which is between 26 to 32 American dollars. I found one place that's selling it for 2,100 yen. So I'll probably be buying it from that place from now on. Onto the back of the box. Here, on the upper portion of the back, we see the toy's gimmick of how the color of his eyes can change with the different helmets. Also, how the spear can extend, and how the figure has 18 points of articulation and can strike dramatic poses. On the lower section of the box, we see an advertisement for the next Kamen Rider character. I believe he's Kamen Rider Ryugen. I could be wrong with the name. And how his armor, which is grape or budo, can fit on Kamen Rider Gaim. I believe he will be released next week, and I'm not sure if I'll do a review for him.
Come on, banana squash! Come on, banana arm!
That is what the side artwork on the boxes are referring to. Anyways, let's take a look at the bottom as well as get it out of the box. Here's his spear. Here's the helmet where we can see a pale yellow shielding that will fit behind the eye socket. And this is the banana armor. Note that he does not have the same hip obstructions that Kamen has, such as a peg for a weapon or his 3 lock seed mold. Let's switch to live action so we can talk about his accessory, spear, and his gimmicks.
Okay, so let's take a look at his spear. Now, as you see, there's 2 different colors of shading. That's where you are able to divide it. It pulls out very easily. It's very very tightly in there, and it's a smooth pull in and a smooth pull out. There's nothing clicking in place or nothing hindering it. Okay, now let's look at the armor. So we have the helmet, which is the same kind of helmet that the other guy has. And let's look at the banana. The one thing I found is that this shell is it sticks quite often, and I was kind of reluctant to do a toy review of this because it does stick. It's mainly because of this right here. There's really no latch to that pulls it away easily. Anyway, so let's do the gimmick. Very much like the other character, you first install the helmet right here as such. Okay. And then you fold it all up again. Much like the other shell, there are some breakable parts, or not breakable, but takeaway parts that can, if it breaks off, you can put it back on, clip on, like this part, and this part. Again though, because of these tabs, everything kind of sticks sometimes. Whereas with the orange armor, I had some trouble at first, the first time I took it out of the box. Here it took me a couple hours to get it to, maybe a couple days actually, to feel like I would be able to form this armor without having the thing break. I mean, in parts that not supposed to break. Okay, now as you see also, it has a little tab here. So this top part, kind of first put this part up, then put this part down, and then put this part in, and then we have the armor. And much like the other armor, you just more or less put this on, and it fits into the pegs. Okay. The one thing I have trouble with is pulling it off, because sometimes when I pull it off, the helmet inside gets stuck, and so if I want to take it off, I have to first remove the helmet another way. Alright, now inside the banana you have 2 pieces here that forms like this, and same on the other end. Unlike the orange, the back, it's a little long. Whereas the orange, I believe the back armor kind of ends right here. Here we have a little bit longer tail, and it's also a little bit movable. So you don't really know exactly if it should go like this or should go like this, or just let it hang like this. Anyways, yeah, basically that's how you form this character and his armor. In general, the toy is fairly fun. I made a stop motion of it with Kamen. You might have seen it. Again, one thing I have to say is, forming the banana armor on top of this toy, this figure, was quite difficult at first. It felt like I was almost going to break the toy by pulling so hard. Let me see if I can even show you what I mean by trying to get the armor off. Oh. I tend to forget about the front plate going first. Alright. Now, see, it feels like it's stuck, and if I pull any harder, I worry that I'm going to pop the head off. I mean, the head is kind of flimsy. So what I do, it's not really flimsy that I worry about it, to the point that it's more or less flimsy to the point that I'm concerned that if I had too much pressure, it might crack around here. So with this particular character, what I've been doing is when I remove the armor off, that's what I do. I first take off the helmet and adjust it as so after I take the rest of the body armor off. Alright, next toy is coming out in a week or so with some armor. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a toy review of it, but I want to say thanks for watching the other review. And alright, unless there's anything else to say, that's about it. Thank you and have a good day. I guess one more thing I could do is put the other armors on. Alright. Very smooth transition, whereas the banana armor is quite difficult at first. I kind of like the banana yellow and dark blue of Kamen. Whereas this orange and red is a little silly looking, but what can you do?
Yeah,